Hey guys, so this video is going to be our pocket octopus. It'll look like this at the end. It's a great pattern for beginners. Hey, you two, leave each other, okay, leave them alone. Sorry, animals. This is Jason. He's the best, he just turned 10. But anyways, okay. So in your little take-home kit, you will have your yarn. We're gonna do it in blue right now. You will have this little bag of goodies. It's gonna have your safety eyes, a stitch marker, a sewing, like crochet sewing needle. It's not sharp, don't worry. And you'll have the backings. You will also have the polyfill, and you will have a 5.5 millimeter hook. Generally, I work with 5 millimeter when I do chenille, but I thought it would be a little bit easier to go a little bit bigger with you because personally, I think it is easier to learn crocheting bigger rather than smaller. So like, as opposed to like a 4 worsted weight, like acrylic yarn, like the typical like Red Heart that you buy, it's super cheap. Once you get better, like I think, yes, it's, if you can do it, do it. I personally don't enjoy crocheting with it because it's hard. It's hard. This stuff is great because it's fuzzy, it's fluffy, it leaves room for error. It leaves room for a loose stitch. But I know you're gonna get it. I know it's gonna be great, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so for this video, we are gonna do the octopus, the pocket octopus together. You will have your pattern, you will have your yarn. There should be more than enough, there should be plenty. If not, let me know. I owe you some yarn, no big deal. You'll have your 5.5 millimeter hook. You will have your crochet sewing needle, backs to your safety eyes, your stitch marker, and some polyfill. This little stuff back here. Sorry about the noise in the back. My dog is just hopping around. But yeah, the only thing you'll really have to provide for yourself is scissors. If you're a kid, use them carefully. You know, don't go chopping fingers off. But anyways, let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna use my hook because, yeah, when you get into it, you'll be like, this is my hook. You'll find what you like. I love these guys. Don't ask me the brand. I think I got it at, I don't know, Michael's or Joann's or something. All right, so we have our end. We have our working end. We're gonna start with a magic ring. Grab it with your pointer and your middle thumb, wrap it around, make that X. We are going to bring it in, grab that yarn, pull through, go back, grab that back, pull through, and we have our magic ring. So for row 1, it says 8 single crochets into a magic ring. So let's go and throw 8 in. Okay, so grab a hold of that into your magic ring, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through for 1, back into that magic ring, grab your yarn, pull over for 2, back in, grab that yarn, yarn over for 3, back into that magic ring, grab your yarn, pull over for 4, back into that magic ring, grab your yarn, yarn over for 5, back into that magic ring, pull through, yarn over for 6, back into that magic ring, yarn over for 7, back into that magic ring, and yarn over, pull through for 8. Alrighty, let me get this thing out of the way because we don't need you right now. So let's tighten up that magic ring, grab it, pull, 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 beautiful. So our next row, row 2, says increase in parentheses. That means that when you come across something like this, this is it's like a repeat pattern. These parentheses mean the number of stitches you will end up with in that row at the end. So for row 2, we are going to increase times 8. So basically we're increasing in every single original stitch. So let's go and do that. Okay, so we're gonna go into our first stitch. If I can get it in, grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through for 1, back into that same stitch, grab that yarn, yarn over, pull through for 2. Now for the next stitch, grab that yarn, pull through for 3, into that same stitch, pull through, yarn over for 4. So now we're going to go into the next stitch. Go into that stitch, grab that yarn, yarn over for 5, grab that back into that stitch, grab that yarn, pull through for 6. Now for the next stitch. Into the stitch, grab that yarn, pull through for 7, back into that original stitch, grab it, pull through for 8. So now we're going to go into the next stitch. Into that stitch, grab the yarn, yarn over for 9, back into that stitch, pull through, yarn over for 10. So now for the next stitch. Back in, pull that yarn, yarn over for 11, back into that same stitch, grab it, yarn over, pull through for 12. Next stitch, into that stitch, grab it, pull through for 13, into that same stitch, grab it, pull through for 14. Next stitch, grab it, pull through for 15, into that same stitch, grab it, pull through for 16. So that is our row 2. We ended up with 16. Sometimes you can tighten up your magic ring afterwards. Mine loosens up sometimes, no big deal. So row 3, here's our pattern. Single crochet, increase, again times 8. So at the end we will end up with 24. All right, so let's do this. All right, so into our first stitch, single crochet. Go through, pull that yarn, yarn over, pull through for 1. Now our next, so remember it's single crochet and then an increase, repeated. So the next one is going to be an increase. Go through that next stitch, grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over for 2. Into that same stitch, grab that yarn, pull over for number 3. So that is our single and then our increase. So now let's go back to a single. Into the next stitch, grab that yarn, pull through for 4. Now back to an increase. Next stitch, grab that yarn, pull through for 5. Into that same stitch, grab that yarn, yarn over for 6. Next stitch, grab that yarn, pull through. This is our single. So yarn over, pull through for 7. Next stitch, this is our increase. Pull that yarn through, yarn over for 8. Back into that same stitch, pull it through, yarn over for 9. So next stitch is our single. Go through, pull it through, yarn over for 10. Next stitch is our increase. Go in, grab it, pull through for 11, back into that same stitch, grab it, pull through for 12. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go and do the rest. If you need to pause and kind of wait, no big deal. So it's 12, that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, come on, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So for rows 5 through 8, you're going to do single crochets all the way around for a total of 5 rounds. There are multiple ways to do this. That's where the magic ring comes in handy. I will do a little bit of that row with you, and that's when we'll pause. We'll go through and do the 5 rows. And yeah, you can do it whatever way you want. The way I like to do it when I'm doing like a bunch and they're small is I like to, what is 5 times 24? It ends up being 120. So I will just like crochet, crochet, crochet and count to 120. But it also like that requires a lot of focus. And if you lose your spot, you're going to be real mad. So use the magic ring for now. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So we're going to go into our first. Pull it through, yarn over, that's 1. Now you can either stop here and put it on. I like to give myself a little space. So then I will go through, pull through, and that is 2. I'm going to do 1 more into that stitch, grab it, pull through for 3. So that's when I like to pause. Grab your little stitch marker. So we've got 1, 2, 3, loop it through this 3rd hook. So it's a stitch marker, it kind of holds your place. And then you just kind of crochet away. You get all the way to the stitch marker. This way it's a little more mindless. I tend to do this when my kids are being extra needy, because, when you're counting, I tend to count out loud, or at least move my mouth, and the kids like to also count out loud, or the baby likes to scream at me, so it's hard to concentrate. So that's where a stitch marker comes in handy, because you don't have to think. You know where your first stitch was, so you just kind of go at it. But yeah, we're almost to the end. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, almost there, almost there. Do, 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 do. Ella Q, elevator music. Do, 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 do. All right, so, sorry, I'm like all up in your face. So this is our last single crochet before we are butted up right against that stitch marker. So that, my friends, is 24 stitches. You did it without even having to pay attention. So that is 1 row. So we're going to do 4 more. So this is where we're going to pause. Do those last 4 rows. Remember, you can now take that stitch marker off. Set that down. Go in for 1, 2, 3, and then take that stitch marker. You got your 1, 2, 3, put it on that 3rd one, and bam, you're set to go for your 2nd round. All right, so go ahead and pause here, get those other 4 rows done, and then we'll pick up when we're there. All right, we're back. We have our 5 rows. She's looking beautiful. Whatever you want your little octopus to be. So this part is, our next part is to add our safety eyes between rows 6 and 7, about 3 to 4 stitches apart. All right, so I'm gonna pull this out so we don't have to worry so much about it. So this is what we're gonna do. This is our first row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're gonna take these in between 6 and 7, kind of stick it in. You'll see it goes like that. So then we're gonna count, that's our row. So we're gonna go 1, 2, I kind of count by these little holes. Oh, excuse me, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that fourth one is typically where I stick in the second eye. Again, it's all preference, you know. You don't have to follow the rules if you don't want to. So you're sticking through here like that. And that's when we're gonna take our backings, press them on real good. You'll kind of hear them click. Here, I'll do it kind of close to the camera so maybe you can hear. I don't know if you heard, but you will see that it is back behind these ridges. So you are good, you are on there, you are secure. We have our little eyeballs. All right, so our next is our back loop only decrease. So we're gonna go from 24 to 12. So that means you're gonna decrease in every single stitch in the back loop. So that's where that front loop, back loop stuff comes into handy, and you'll see once we get going. So I'm gonna do my invisible decreases just because I think they look neater. I think you'll be thankful for them eventually someday. So we're gonna go into that. Remember, front loop, back loop. We're gonna go into that back loop, go into the next back loop, grab that yarn, pull through both of those, yarn over, pull through. That's our first for 1. Into that back loop, into the next back loop, grab that yarn, pull through both, yarn over for 2. All right, into that back loop, the next back loop, grab that yarn, pull through both of those loops, yarn over, pull through for 3. You'll start to see already this sort of line that it's creating. That comes in handy when we do the tentacles. So that is 3. So we'll go through that back loop, go through the next back loop, grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. I also think invisible decreases kind of help save you, like you use just a smidgen less of yarn. You know, everything to save yarn. So that was 4. We're gonna go through that back loop, go through the next one, grab that yarn, pull through both, yarn over for 5, go through that back loop, and the next one, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over for 6, grab, go through that back loop, and the next one, pull through both, yarn over, pull through for 7. We're going to do it again, some back loops, grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over for 8, back loops again, grab that yarn, pull through for 9, go through those back loops again. If I can even do it. Come on, girly. What am I doing? Go through that back loop and the next one. Grab that yarn, pull through for 10. Sorry, my eyeball itches. All right, back loops again. Pull through for 11, and here's our last one. Through the back loops, grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over for 12. So that is row 9, and you'll see your little edge. So this is where we're gonna kind of pause, because now we're gonna stuff this baby. All right, grab a little polyfill. Stuffing preference is totally preference. If you like it firm, you like it firm. If you like it soft and squishy, leave it soft and squishy. That is plenty. A little squishy. So now, row 10 is going to another decrease all around. So we're going from 12 to 6. So another decrease in every stitch. And this is going to be our last row. So bring that back in there. Tighten her up. Again, I am doing invisible decreases. So it's also back to being normal. So we're not in the back loop now. We're going to do invisible decreases in the front loops. So front loop, pull through both of those, yarn over for 1. All right, next one, into that front loop, pull through, yarn over for 2. All right, back into that front loop. Come on. Sometimes it can get a little tight, so if you have to do a regular decrease, not the end of the world. All right, yarn through both of those. Maybe. Yarn over, pull through for, was that 3? I think. All right, so next one. Sorry, I'm getting real close to the camera. Into that front loop, into that next one. Grab that yarn, pull through them both. We'll call that 4. We'll double check in a second. I'll show you, just in case you think you lose your place. Back through, grab that yarn, yarn over, pull through. So this is a good way to double check, like if you lose your count like I just did. So this is our 1, 2, is it? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it was 6. I did lose count. So anyways, so row 10 and our body of our octopus is done. So this is when you are going to cut your yarn. We're gonna kind of hold it. This is when your sewing needle comes in handy. You can also use another crochet hook. Come on, girly, get in there. All right, so we got our little sewing needle. Leave our crochet hook in. I keep sticking to this thing. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so I say cut your ends, weave in and out of your last row, pull tight, and stuff the end into your plushie. So what I mean is you see that you're in this stitch. So then take your yarn, go into the next stitch, pull it through. Then go out of the next one. Then we're going to do it again. In to this one. Kind of helps secure it, helps tighten everything up. Then out of this next one. We're almost there. I'm going to lose my hand. Struggling. Okay. Into this one. Oh, you butthead. All right. And I usually, let me get it together. Get back on there. All right, so then we take it, go out of that last one. All right. You can get rid of that for now. Really, I don't think you'll need it for the rest of this. So then you have your ends I like to yarn it over, pull through that last stitch, and tighten her up. There she is. She's closed. You can take your little needle. You can use a pen. I have like a specific crochet hook with a pointy end that helps stuff things in. Just don't cut it, because if you cut it, you'll have this like weird end. So it's better to stuff. Come on, get in there, dude. Funny story, when I first started amigurumi, I used to crochet everything inside out. I'm sure you'll see what I mean when you start, but hopefully you don't. All right, so there it is. There is our line from our back loops. There is the body. Now let's get into the tentacles. So you will attach your yarn with a slip knot to any of the front loops. It doesn't matter where you start. And we're going to do 5 half double crochets into the next stitch. Skip a stitch, then slip stitch. Then we're going to repeat it, and we will end up with 8 tentacles. All right, so let's do it. Okay, so doesn't matter. Pick a stitch, any stitch. Get into that surface. Grab your end. Sorry, I'm all up in your face. Pull it through. Wrap your working end, yarn over, and then pull through that stitch. Don't worry too much about it. Not the end of the world. It'll work itself out. So we're gonna do 5 half double crochets, okay? So yarn over into that next stitch. Pull it through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, that's 1, into that same stitch. Grab that yarn, pull through, yarn over for 2. Yarn over into that same stitch. Yarn over, pull through for 3. Yarn over into that same stitch. Pull through. Pull through for 4. Yarn over into that same stitch. Grab that yarn, pull through. Yarn over for 5. See how you kind of have that little fan shape? So the pattern then calls for you to skip this stitch and slip stitch into the next one. So we're going to go into that next crochet and slip. That's where you get your cute little tentacle pattern. So let's do another one together. Yarn over into this next stitch, this one, get it in, pull that yarn through, yarn over, pull through for 1, yarn over into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through for 2, yarn over into that same stitch, pull through, yarn over for 3, yarn over, pull through, yarn over for 4, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through for 5, right? 1, 2, 3, nope, 4, I lied. Yarn over into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through for 5, and then we have our second leg. So again, skip the next stitch, slip stitch into this one. We have our second leg. Let's do another one. After this one, I'll speed it up a little bit. So yarn over, go through that next stitch, pull it through, yarn over for 1, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through for 2, yarn over, pull through for 3, yarn over, pull through for 4, yarn over to that same stitch, yarn over, pull through for 5. So then we're gonna skip. We're gonna skip that next stitch and slip stitch into the next one. And we have leg number 3. So I am just gonna kind of breeze through the ends. Feel free to rewind, pause, you know, do what you gotta do. Take your time. Sorry, these videos aren't like the most professional thing in the world. I'm doing the best I can. And my baby just woke up from nap, so we gotta hustle. Skip, slip. So that is 4. To the next. What's that? 1, 2, 3. Skip and slip. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little leggies. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so you see here that I am getting to where the lines sort of change. You will do the same thing. So we're gonna skip and just go right into it like nothing happened. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means we have 2 more tentacles. All right, into that next one. Pull through for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip, slip. 1 more, ready? We're almost there. You're almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're on our last one. We're gonna skip, slip. This is like the original skip, slip back in. And I'll show you how to close this thing off. All right, so this is when you can cut. Again, doesn't have to be massive. You'll have a little extra. Take that hook and pull that end right out. Kind of tighten her up. This is what I like to do to secure everything. You'll take that original end and the end we just cut, knot them up, throw a double. And then you'll stuff these little babies in, which for the sake of my baby yelling at me from upstairs, I will do later. But yeah, you got your little octopus. I'm so proud of you. I hope you loved it. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you need further help, don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right, see you later, guys. Have fun.